So good, man.
So good. Right, time for some Bryan Adams, Lee. I mean...
So how old were you when this album came out then?
Oh, this was 1984. This is from 1984,
so you were 2?
This album. I was about 2 years old, yeah. I was about 2 years old. I can't remember...
Were you playing guitar when this album came out?
No, I wasn't. I can't remember it coming out, because I didn't get into Bryan Adams much later on, till I was, I don't know.
I mean, summer of '69, I definitely remember that on the radio. Wasn't that was the I know there were lots of hits on that, but I'm sure that was the lead. That was what the first single that was released off this album.
I think Heaven was the biggest one.
Really?
I think Heaven is the only #1 from this album. But I mean, it's such an iconic album, isn't it? You know, it's such an iconic album, iconic sounding. Summer '69. It's Only Love, Tina Turner.
She did
One
some
Night
great
Love Affair.
duets in the 80s,
she did.
didn't she?
Run to You, Heaven, Somebody. I mean, most of these songs are just top hits, right?
So yet again with this, you said just before we started filming that was it according to Wikipedia it sold 12 million copies?
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like as many as I thought. I mean, that's half as many, I think, as Slippery When Wet sold.
Really?
I'm pretty sure we said that was...
It's not bad for a Canadian musician, I guess.
Oh, I always sort of think to myself, so in my head, I just think, when you have a song like Summer of '69, that you end up going, is there anyone on the planet that hasn't heard that song? Probably not. And you end up going, and yet...
And partying to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yet...
it's only sold, what is 12 million people? Like the population of Luxembourg or something like that.
12, it's London, isn't it? Less than people that live in London.
But...
So... and his biggest album is Waking Up the Neighbours Up, but I think
is it?
Waking Up the Neighbours.
I'm really surprised at that.
But that was Robin Hood's era, wasn't it? So you got Robin Hood film with the album, and then of course that whole thing kicked off with Kevin Costner, and so that's why I think that was bigger album.
Well, let's play it track by track and just see what we think.
So you just had the first one. Okay, let's have some listen to the next one. Maybe not so popular. She's Only Happy When She's Dancing.
Okay.
Oh, riff. Yeah.
So
I mean that and then just the shaker comes in. It's just such a groove. And then it goes away again. Pick bass. Right. Art. I mean, it's such a...
What was the...
Just the building of the song is so classic, you know.
So who do you think inspired or influenced Bryan Adams?
I don't know.
This is a sort of early to mid 80s rock band stuff. Yeah. Do you think it's a sort of evolution of... I mean, I'm trying to think of rockers at the time. It's more modern rock and roll than, say, something like the Stones, isn't it? I always think of someone like John Mellencamp, that kind of American rock.
But these are earworms, aren't they? These are songs that do... Oh, solo, hang on. So simple. That's it. Oh, hang on. Not the shaker. And then, of course, he's the master of middle age, Bryan Adams. In my book, he's the master of writing in middle age. Absolutely.
He does stick to a structure, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, and that's what makes these...
It's a great
pop
song
songs.
structure.
It's pop songs, but with like rocky... I think it's the pop... Here you go. I don't know where his inspiration. It would be good to ask him that question. I did meet him once, so it was pretty cool. It was really cool. Yeah. He seemed really cool.
This will be a recurring. Let's go to the next song, but we must keep the focus in this video on the legend that is Keith Scott.
Keith Scott is the legend,
because
unsung hero of guitar world. I
honestly don't think there is another guitar player in a band who has stayed not anonymous, but you just think any other guitar player that in a rock band that have reached the kind of the fame of Bryan Adams' band he's on the front cover of magazines and have signature pedals, signature guitars, doing interviews, doing guitar courses, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. But he's not though. He's just this guy here. And he's still like, I remember trying to reach out to him because, when we started doing all this and some Captain Meat stuff and they were over here. And I found he just went on Instagram and he's like 3,000 followers or whatever.
I think he's the greatest guitar player that you've never heard of that there is. I'm not saying what I mean is, I know a lot of guitar players will have heard of Keith Scott.
Yeah.
But outside of that realm, it's like non-guitar players know who Joe Perry is, and they know who Richie Sambora is, and they know who Keith Richards is, and it's like...
Well, Keith Richards is a good example. He's made a name for himself out of a band, it's the Rolling Stones.
But I think Keith Scott might be the greatest guitar player, and no one knows who he is.
Yeah, but is his face on the thing? Is his name?
Well, that's because the band is called Bryan Adams, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, let's have a listen to the next track, which is arguably one of the greatest guitar intros in music history.
And in F sharp, isn't it?
It is.
It's not F. It's not E. It's
you need
F
to get
sharp.
that capo out,
yeah, exactly.
people.
And listen to how clean all these sounds are as well. I think they're fantastic.
Rim shot,
baby. And again,
big reverse reverb.
Lots of reverb everywhere.
The feedback.
Just
underrated bass line on that song as well. I've never really listened to that.
They're great musicians. Didn't they play? I remember New Year's Eve show or something on BBC. There's randomly just Bryan Adams turning up at 12 o'clock. I mean, this album is
interesting choice, isn't it?
Iconic, isn't it?
You leading with Summer of '69 as the first. I think this is where the thought of the track order very much understood that at some point or other you had to flip the record over.
Yeah.
So you needed a big song, first song of the second side.
But did he know it was going to be a big song? That's the whole idea back then. He had his first. What was the first album?
So.
We got this one as well.
Produced by Bob Clearmountain.
Yeah. It's just.
Don't you miss having all the words and everything on the sleeve?
And you can see who played on it. You can see all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was a different experience. Here we go. Here we go.
Great bass drum
it's
sound.
Like 24 inches. Castanets. Harmony. It's there. And of course there's the classic.
Oh yes, it's great.
No gain.
Lots of chorus, double track chorus.
Yeah. And I like the way the drums. It's just one. It's like 1, 3, 1 and 3. Anyway, super song, man.
What's the next one? Heaven.
Heaven is a massive. I
Great
remember.
ballad.
So here's a little anecdote. I remember when I was.
It's going to be your first
14,
girlfriend story, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
No, absolutely. You're not getting. I think that was Prince, Diamond and Pearls. I was on for that, which is another classic album. There was this talent show in Denmark we did when we were like 15, 14 or something, and we played Heaven. Like a little bunch of kids, we were playing that Heaven song, the singer on the piano. Anyway, let's have a listen to Heaven. Another.
It's so Top Gun. It's just it's so Top Gun.
It's so
I want to
80s,
get
man.
half naked and play volleyball on the beach.
His voice as well is absolutely incredible.
It is.
It's incredible.
We were young and wild and free. Now nothing can take you away from me. We've been down that road before.
Here it comes.
But that's over now. You
Keep me coming back for more. Again.
Baby, you're all I want.
Yeah.
When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding
That snare drum is just like.
sound.
I'm just gonna. When I saw him, and I met him in Germany, doing a show in Germany, he was playing a song, and he does this. He had a 1940 Martin D18 or something. He was talking about. But when he sings, he's got this technique of singing because he still sounds the same to this day. But he's got this. He sings like that, so he'll sing. Whoa! He'll sort of sing away from the microphone. He's got this thing, and his voice is still this growly.
But I mean, I always think
He's
whenever
never
I'm
lost
singing
it.
along, he sings in a quite a high register.
Yeah.
Again, but it's
Pushing it.
sounds. He doesn't. It's not as raspy as some singer's voice goes. It's still smooth. It's just a great rock voice.
It is. There's some great live albums as well. If you
You know what
if you
comes
get into
across-
Bryan Adams.
On this album is every musician has great tone.
Yeah.
The drums sound great, the vocals sound great, the bass line sounds great, and I do think I've never heard a bad Keith Scott guitar tone.
But it's not what you think it is. It's the same we talk about the Marshall. People think, when they hear Marshall on an album, it's all this thing, too much gain all the time. There's not a lot of gain on this, right? And this is like a Strat. Here we go. Ready? Here comes the middle eight to die for.
Oh, massive drums.
It's just, and then again, all the third. Better, and then into the solo. There you go. Just clever. I mean, one thing I wish the guitar was just a slightly tiny bit louder in the mix sometimes, because it's like the drums, But what a...
There's nothing ever terribly rapid or flash about Keith's playing, is it? It's just all note selection and tone.
Yeah. And it's pentatonic, it's just tasteful. He keeps saying serve the song. He just plays what the song needs, and then a little bit less, like Tim Pierce was saying. It's so melodic. I've learned so much from him in playing less is more.
We always talk about that. So come on. So let's get to the end of side one, and then we'll talk about how does Keith Scott influence your playing.
We can certainly talk about
that. Come on,
so what's
last
the next
song
one then?
of side one? Somebody. Great rock song.
Is that another? Do I remember another? Isn't there another sort of thing in the beginning?
We shall see.
Yeah. There you go. Again.
Oh, nice.
And then. Flat note. Yeah. the bass is like picked, and then the kick, the snare, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like,
isn't this is just one of those
It's so
ultimate,
simple.
I've got 500 miles to drive, it's a nice day,
Yeah.
put my sunglasses on,
move down, and
that's
then
it.
just
I don't
full
want
on
to talk
whack.
to anybody in the
Yeah.
car, just turning the volume up.
I'm feeling good, baby.
I know!
Yeah.
You know what as well? We haven't...
Oh, so good. And you get down here in the middle. Go back down, take everything down. Right? I mean,
Okay.
it's just classic. I'm going to leave this running just in case I need to turn it up at some point when there's something. I think that's a great
We haven't
middle
heard-
eight in this.
We haven't heard a bad song
Another
yet.
night, another lasting love. Another. That's
Is
this.
there?
No, that's not yet.
No.
I've got
Another
actually.
verse.
I've got in the other room in there. I've got a CD that I recorded with a band that I used to play in called Live of Bryan. So live, not live of Bryan. And there's a demo CD in there, but we're like, I don't know how old we are. It's quite. And we're playing this song.
Do you know, when was the last, like, rock star Bryan? Because there was definitely, like, 3 or 4 famous Bryans, wasn't there? Like, Bryan Ferry, Bryan Johnson, Bryan Adams. But I feel like now, apart from Brian McFadden, it's like, there's no more famous Bryans, are
What's
there?
that Bryan that was the other Bryan that was...
But it's Tyler Bryan.
Oh, Adams.
That doesn't count.
Oh, Ryan Adams.
Oh,
Ryan
yeah.
Adams, yeah, he was the one that did naughty stuff, wasn't he? Or
I think,
whatever,
I don't remember that. There was
No.
some controversy,
Bryan-
wasn't there?
Bryan...
Do you remember when we were talking to Tim Pearce and he talked about studio versus live, as in where guitar parts are
Oh,
tracked
sorry.
rather than... Oh, sorry, you're
Sorry,
right.
I have to interrupt you. Right, middle eight. Third again, third. Back again. He does the third. Everybody at the party sing along, you know. It's such a hit.
Yeah.
And again, you got that C. He's got that when he does those middle eight. We call it C sections in Denmark. You know,
Yeah, why
C
do you
parts.
call it a C-section?
Because you got A, B, and C. So you got A is verse, B is chorus, and then C is. So
and then C-section is
something else, I know.
Something else much more painful.
but yeah, I mean, I think because it was probably later, well, I was 17, 18 maybe when I did this thing, and I think learning some of those songs, as much as I learned stuff, I never learned anything, but just listening to it and getting into his listen. It's so melodic and it's so simple that, and I've always loved that way of playing, interpreting. It's like you got a great melody, great lyrics, great drums, great bass. So why ruin that with guitar that's just all over the place? Do you know what I mean? I'm listening to this Pino Questlove Supreme with Pino Palladino on the way in today podcast, and he's such a cool dude. And he's got this. He was talking about this bass he's got. He hasn't changed strings on it since 1993, because he just likes the tone in it, and and he says it's all about playing.
I wonder if he's got a string endorsement, Pino Palladino. It's like
exactly.
the cheapest string endorsement ever.
Yeah, it's all about. There was Questlove and the other guys were sort of asking him, how he's just so. Well, you played with Rocco, his son. It's just there's just less. You can play one note and it's just more. It's difficult to explain.
Come on, let's listen to side two.
Still
Let's
having a little bit of jet lag
two.
going on here. Here we go. I believe there's another poof in the beginning on this, isn't there?
Humongous song.
Count me in. Wait, no.
I got my first real 6-string, bought it at the 5 and dime, played it till my fingers bled.
Again, drums.
Was the summer of '69. Me and some guys from school.
I love it. A lot of nines.
Jimmy quit, Joey got married. Should've known we'd never get far. Oh, when I look back now, the summer seemed to last forever. And if I had the choice,
You know what? You know what? It's got. I hate being the one to say it's. You know, the Beatles have written so many pop songs where it's just simple chords, and then once in a while you stick something in it. I wonder if he's got some inspiration from them somehow. It would be really interesting because I don't know. I would love to know. You know,
I can't remember if we talked about this in a previous video, but I've never really done that big Beatles deep dive in the way that Super Beatles fans do. I guess, you know, probably just was my dad's generation, not really mine.
Yeah.
And the other day, I'm going to say about, I don't know, 2 months ago, I drove to, I don't know, I did some 300-mile round trip or whatever it was. So I was in the car for a good 3 or 4 hours. And I just thought, I'm going to go to the Apple Music Beatles Essentials.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Again, another one. It's going to have a third. There it is. Sorry.
But
I have to
I
interrupt
drove for whatever it was, 4 hours, and it was a relentless, massive hit. And I did get to the end of it, and I just went. I mean, obviously, everybody knows who the Beatles are, and
Not
everybody
everybody.
talks about how, you know, important they were and how massive they were. But even like 50 years later, I was sitting there going, actually, when you just listen to back, there is no other artist, not even close. There's no other artist that literally can say, yeah, we had 100 massive songs.
And you know what? None of them were 30 when they split up. Yet.
Anyway,
Not even
this isn't
30
about
yet.
you know what, we should do a Beatles version of this
Absolutely.
episode. But anyway, we're talking about Bryan Adams now.
Yeah.
You know what I like about this song as well? The lyrics remind me of the Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. It's like talking about that sort of sense of growing up and you know, life and
Yeah.
I wonder if Bryan Adams, is he old enough to, is this biographical? Like, as in, is he talking about himself in the summer of '69? Because I'm just trying to think, is he?
I don't know.
He'd have to be.
He is.
He'd have to be. No, that can't be him then. Well, no, maybe it is. So in '69, he would. If he's 64 now,
It would have been 10.
it'd have been 10. So it's possible. I wonder if it's just the lyrics of Summer of '69 rhymed better than Summer of
Yes,
'73
it's born-
or whatever the actual
Summer
year was
in
that he was in his first
84.
band.
He's had 25 top 15 singles in Canada,
Yeah.
and he sold more than 100 million records
Oh,
and
that
singles.
makes more sense.
Yeah.
Man, it's just.
Born in '59.
Is he the biggest rock artist in Canada?
I mean, I would say he's. Well, who's going to be close? Justin Bieber is obviously probably going to be close in terms of record sales, but shouldn't even be in the same sentence.
Neil Young?
Nearly on.
I mean, Rush.
Yeah. Well, they were.
But no,
Yeah, you
Bryan Adams
can't-
as a rock pop
I think,
artist.
yeah, and it's just
And we're bound to have upset some Canadians by missing someone
Yeah,
else
yeah.
massive.
absolutely.
Big Wreck, obviously amazing.
Yes, but it's still
it's
100
not
million.
in the
You
same-
don't. Who
no.
sells 100 million albums anymore and
Oh,
singles?
hardly anyone.
Hardly anyone. Taylor
Yeah.
Swift. Anyway, this next one I like. It's called Kids Wanna Rock, and it's such a great riff. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, so
that's got a
classic.
bit of AC/DC.
Yeah.
guitar sound.
Yeah.
The kids wanna rock.
Air drums.
So dad drumming.
Yeah. Here, Seven, listen.
The kids wanna rock.
Solo again. And back down. Great solo.
I'm looking for. I was getting vibes of another album here, and when I find it, you'll go, "Oh yeah, there you are."
Yeah. There's a lot of
Were
blues
these
in
guys
it.
Canadian?
I don't know.
Or not? Or probably from Georgia, I imagine. So obviously not, since they're called the Georgia Satellites. Another great album.
I love this vibe. Yeah. You get a little bit of a dive bomb there, probably on a Strat with like with an old
Do you know
Fem
what,
system on it.
I mean, that's probably the heavy. That's probably the heaviest song on the album, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great song. Now,
3 times around at the end.
everywhere I go, the kids wanna rock.
There you go. This is the one. And it goes straight into. Yeah, straight into that.
Go on! This is.
And you get another one of these, right? It's
Let
just,
Tina sing as well, because it's
yeah,
just
we need
like,
to listen. But it's, again, we're talking like couplet songs. It's almost like, here's Wonderwall. It's Wonderwall kind of chords, you know. It's got that, because it's got...
I always like that do-do-do-do, the little lick that he plays.
I'm not saying
crikey.
it, but what a hit, man. Right? It's this album is just... Here we go.
But it's only love. And if your life ain't worth living, and you're ready to give in, just admit that it's only love.
Oh man, I'm getting literally full on choking up goosebumps.
You have to put it in the car on the way back, you know, home. It's great, man.
Wow.
Good times, man.
Her
You get
voice
another.
as
You
well.
get another. Yeah. You're getting lit.
You gotta run with. You gotta run with. You keep looking back and dead.
And just singing here now. This.
Over and over and over again.
Oh my life.
You're tearing up, man.
Wow.
It's so emotional, man. There we go. Is that the last one? No, it's one more, is it?
One more.
Yeah,
Two
what's
more.
it? 2 more.
Yeah.
What
oh
a
man,
hit.
it's just this is nothing to do with Bryan Adams, but I just remember this was pretty much, I don't know, a year or two after my parents got divorced, and I just remember Tina Turner being such an inspiration for like all the women that were at the time trying to put their lives back together.
Absolutely, man. What a humongous inspiration for, and just the voice, man. If you haven't watched that Tina film, you should, because it's just
She
incredible.
is unreal.
She took so much shit, man.
Yeah. But this,
and
what a voice.
came out the other side of it.
Yeah,
Great.
bigger and stronger. Good
Bigger
for her.
and stronger.
Come on, I mean that's.
So what are we saying next here is...
If you had to pick your favourite song off this album,
I can't.
It might. I think it would be that one. To be honest,
can
with
you pick your least favourite song off the album? That's even.
Well,
that's,
let's see.
That's even worse.
These last two here, I am less familiar with.
Yeah.
So let's try "Long Gone."
Okay. I love this. And you're gonna get another one of these. Aren't you?
What is that guitar sound? Is it?
It's double
Is it
tracked.
just double tracked, and that's what gives the chorus
Yeah.
effect?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because he uses that a lot, doesn't he? That sort of
It could be a
double-tracked
doubler. It
chorusy
could, yeah,
type.
it's like that doubler we did on the KMA thing.
Yeah, I think
There
he's
you go.
probably.
Ringing off the wall.
It's a bit status quo here.
Yeah.
Another long distance call.
What a great voice, though.
Since you get the house and the car, I get the clothes I got on. Yeah, it's gone. Long, 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 long gone. Now I'm a happy boy.
And I'm a happy boy.
So long, long, long gone.
I tell you, playing in a Bryan Adams tribute band is difficult to pick songs, because the next
Or
what
is it?
the neighbors say, and then you got 18 Till I Die. I think it's an incredible album. I think it's fantastic. There's so many great songs.
I
on there.
even
It
like the one he
sounds-
did with Sporty Spice.
Yes, but that's the
That's
thing,
quite a bit
isn't
later, isn't it?
it? Yeah.
But
Oh, it's a good solo on this thing. So we see if there's
I'm just reading
do
the
we
lyrics.
think a middle eight as well, with some thirst in the bass. Solo now, I think. Oh. Shoulder moment, isn't it? So simple.
There's only 2 notes in the whole
There you go.
solo. Oh, a few more there.
Yeah.
Bit of harmonica.
Who's playing harmonica on this? Is that him? It's a Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know, it's funny because all of these chords, it definitely for me, not when I play the rock stuff, you know, it sort of creates, there's a great feel in it. Just the real amp in the studio, and it's just loud, it's going, you know. I'm a happy guy. So what's the next? What's the last
This
one?
last song. I was just reading who the thanks are for here.
Oh, this is the last one.
No, there's one more.
Yeah, I
ain't,
thought it was
ain't
one.
gonna cry. I was just reading who the thanks are, but it's like Vinci Strings get a thank you,
Yeah.
whoever they are. Richard's Rare Guitars,
It must be in Canada somewhere, right?
maybe. I don't
There's
know.
not normal rare guitars. They don't even open when we're there. Can't believe that.
There's a Steve Smith is on my. I wonder if that's Steve Smith, the
From
drummer.
Russell. Oh, so
No,
got
not Steve Smith, the Marshall demo guy. No, it was,
Maybe. That-
anyway, right.
Anyway,
come
so-
on, last song. Ain't
Last
gonna
song.
cry.
yeah. So that it's a ballad, isn't it?
I don't, yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
No.
Oh, hang on. This is even more rocky than Kids Wanna Rock. I remember now. I remember this now. This is fun. This is a fun song. This song is probably the least known one, I
Yeah,
think. But it ends up, the very end of it just gets chaotic, completely.
I wonder if this was. I'm sort of feeling like I don't know. I've ever really heard this on the radio.
I don't
Whereas
think
all
so.
the other ones, I
But
think
it's
at some
great,
point
yeah.
or other I have. It sounds like a slave tune.
Yeah.
It's like some sort of Noddy Holder Christmas tune. Good bass line.
Yeah, man. Ready? I think every verse and chorus gets more and more chaotic. So you listen
I wonder if this is the very last line or the very last sort of verse of this song is. I wonder if that's where the Reckless. It's got a line and it says "I got reckless, baby" in the song. I wonder if that's where the album name comes from.
Sweet. Ready? Listen to the chaos starting. Oh yeah.
So classic.
Let's a little bit more. Do you hear that?
Yeah, what was it?
It just gets more and more chaotic in the end of the song. It just ends up in one big mess. It's great to end of. Listen, it's a great way to end an album. This is a proper way. Listen.
I was just going to say, it's the Flash Gordon album from Queen.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
That's. I love this. Here comes the chaos. Mushrooms, wow.
Oh, I think it's too long.
No, yeah, we have to finish it, come on. Explosion is like
Sounds
Rob Chapman.
yeah, it sounds like the end of some of our pedal videos sometimes, doesn't it? I'm taking this album cover down to the hairdressers next time. I'm saying.
Yeah,
I want the Bryan Adams.
I used to
Reckless.
have that.
I'm not a million miles off it. I haven't got the hairline anymore.
What an absolute
That was fun.
Fantastic album, man.
Yes.
I think if you're a guitar player and you just want an inspiration or something, you know, it's not just the guitar playing.
It's 40 years old this year, that album. Wow. I know.
So I must just have been so yeah, I was at 7, right? 6, 7. So I was 7.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit too young to take it in.
Yeah, no, it's perfect
You know.
for me. Perfect for me, I was 12.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, we digress now because we've got to go on to the next one.
Yeah, we have to.
Right.
Man, that was great.
Well, I hope you're enjoying. I don't know what we're doing with this little series of
I don't
videos,
know.
but
It's just nice to revisit all these
think-
old albums. If not for you out there, then for us.
next
Is
up.
that the next one?
I think it might be.
Oh, oh.
Right. See you next time.